programmable computer, and then he invented mathematical game theory, which he then showed could be applied to war games. And I think the reason we're here tonight, the reason there's life on Earth 41 years after Hiroshima, is because both the sides in the Cold War keep running their favorite scenarios through their computers. Can we beat them with this technique? And the computers, which are not politically prejudiced or partisan, play out the war game and say, no, you can't beat them with that technique. With that technique, you'll get trashed too. So then they go back to the drawing board and calculate for another 5 years, how can we get the jump on them? And they feed this to the computers, and the computers say, no, that way you will not win either. That way you will be killed along with them. And that's why we're still here. And I think that's what's keeping us alive. The more they analyze war games with scientific techniques, the more they realize what Einstein and Bertrand Russell and all 12 intelligent people on the planet realized in 1945, which is that there are no winners in a nuclear war. I think that message will eventually get through, and I even suspect that it is beginning to get through. I think some of the recent negotiations at Geneva show a slight sense that they're not faking so much, that they are trying to learn how to negotiate with each other instead of just bluff each other. Maybe I'm being over-optimistic. I'm often accused of that. Next question.
Do you have any thoughts on the Hopi prophecies?
The Hopi prophecies? No, I don't know.
One is that we disrupted a basic order by taking rocks from the moon, and that we are doomed unless we return them to the moon. And the other one is that container filled with death will fall from the sky and cause the oceans to boil.
I don't know anything about the Hopi prophecies. I'm not even very good at Nostradamus. I read Nostradamus and I can't make head or tail out of it, and I can't tell whether he's right or wrong, and that type of thing. That type of thing seems to fall into the area of assertion that I was talking about before. It has nothing to do with argument, legal, philosophical, scientific, or any type of argument I recognize. It's just assertion. And assertion can come true. If I assert I am going to leave here and have a drink very soon, I can make that assertion come true, but that's not an argument. An assertion can come true, but nobody knows until it does come true. I may decide not to leave here and have a drink. I may decide to leave here and have a cup of coffee. Assertions you can't say anything about. It's a question of take it or leave it. You can't prove them or disprove them. So I don't know. Well, I'll see. I don't know. I asked them last night, would they please come to the Denver lecture too and bring all their friends. I said, if you can get a bigger demonstration, I'd get more publicity and sell more books, and I'd be very grateful to you. And I think that may have discouraged them. I think their goal is not to help me sell books, so they decided to boycott me instead. That's the trouble with being honest, you see. You always end up screwing yourself that way. I should have told them, please don't come to Denver. I'm terrified. If you expose me, I'll lose all my fans. And then they would have got all their friends together, and they would have had a big enough demonstration to get on television. And next question, yes, back there.
How do you answer those people who say that maybe it's premature for us to spend so much on space exploration when we really haven't learned how to live on this planet yet in terms of desertification, erosion, and more species becoming extinct? So we really haven't learned how to live on this planet. Why are we using it for soil satisfaction?
I think that's based on a false dichotomy. I mean, we've already got part of our technology in outer space right now. And the idea that leaving the planet means leaving the planet is oversimplified. How many people are going to leave the planet perpetually? I think in the next 40 years, a lot of people will be living and working in space part-time, but they'll probably return to the planet. The idea that it's like saying, why leave Europe and go to the United States on a lecture tour? Shouldn't you solve the problems of Europe first? I do everything I can to solve the problems of Europe. I lecture wherever they ask me to lecture over there. But I don't feel I'm deserting Europe when I spend a few weeks visiting the United States. I don't think Europe and the United States are that far separate. They're part of one system. And I don't think Earth is that separate from the rest of the solar system. It's part of one system. And the idea that leaving Earth means abandoning Earth, actually leaving Earth to use interplanetary technology will benefit Earth tremendously by bringing us cheaper power. In Colorado, you got all the sunlight you need for solar power, but in a place like Ireland, solar power is totally a lost cause there because it's damp and rainy most of the year. But Ireland can have as much solar power as Colorado if it's beamed down from outer space. I really think that the surface of a planet is not the best place for a growing technology. Technology gets increasingly risky and it should be moved away from human beings. If we got to have it on this planet, which I don't think we do, but if we did have to keep technology on this planet, I think there should be laws that the people who own the factories have to live within a half a block of the factories. I think if everybody who owns shares in atomic energy plants had to live in a circle around the atomic energy plants, then they might be a lot more careful. But meanwhile, I think it's much safer to move heavy technology off the planet entirely. And that would give the planet a chance to become one great big nature park.
This concludes Session 5. Our program continues with Session 6.